Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Joe Stunner Boxing. So, Shurretta Metcalf of Dallas, Texas, at 39 years of age, becomes the new IBF bantamweight champion. She defeats the champion, MIYO Yoshida. And in fact, this was a rematch from a fight that took place in November of last year. And Shurretta won that one as well. With this victory, she's now got 14 wins, 2 KOs, 4 defeats, all on points, and 1 draw. But the interesting thing was, last year, after she'd beaten MIYO Yoshida, it was Yoshida who, only a month and 2 days after losing to Shurretta, fought Ebony Bridges for the IBF bantamweight title as a late replacement and won. And so she became a 2-weight belt holder. She twice held the WBO super flyweight title. And now she was IBF bantamweight champion, completely out of the blue. And this left a bad taste in Shurretta Metcalf's mouth, because she said, well, I beat her. And then a month later, she's picking up a belt. Where's my opportunity? And you can understand her annoyance. And so a rematch, I suppose, was on the cards. It was an obvious choice. And sure enough, they met in New York, Madison Square Garden. This was on Wednesday, part of the excellent Pro Box TV coverage. I mean, if you're missing out if you're not looking at these Pro Box cards that are on midweek. They're free on YouTube, and they've got some good fights. I mean, this particular card I didn't think was that great. I thought the fights were a little bit disappointing. This one, a bad fight, Metcalf versus Yoshida. But check them out. I mean, they've got some great cards that go on a Wednesday. What else are you doing on a Wednesday night? Just waiting for the weekend, don't you? A lot of the time, but go over and watch them. But anyway, getting back to the fight, I mean, Metcalf, I thought, deserved the victory. I thought she outworked Yoshida. She's listed as being about 3 inches taller, but she looks more like 5 inches taller than Yoshida. Yoshida is a sort of very sort of tough, industrious, come-forward fighter. But I think the style, the old line about styles making fights, I think Metcalf, just the sheer size of her, she's tall, rangy. I just think she might have Yoshida's number, because Yoshida, even though she's quite short, I think she's about 5'3.5", 5'4", she fights even smaller, and she'll try and burrow forward to the point where sometimes she sticks her chin over the front foot. And Metcalf is the polar opposite. She's upright, very sort of like a sort of female Tommy Hearns, nowhere near the skill level. But she'll fire lots and lots of jabs, orthodox fighter. Sometimes she'll fire jabs from way out of range, but she just wants to move her hands, and there's a lot to be said for that. But of course, the more you move your hands, the more gaps there are in your defense, and you can be timed. She has that sort of long, elongated praying mantis look about her. And even though she wasn't catching Yoshida with as many punches as probably you would want percentage-wise, considering the output, Yoshida was limited in what she could do. Now, early on, Yoshida did land a good jab. Even though she was so much shorter, she sort of sprang up and landed a very good jab. And I thought, okay, jab with the jabber, great. Even though Metcalf was, towering above you and with these great long levers, crawl underneath, timer, and bang the jab in. But Yoshida wasn't able to do that for very much, for a lot of the fight. Metcalf, I thought, she controlled enough of the fight, even though there were some wobbly moments. Not that she ever looked in any real danger, but there were moments where Yoshida was threatening to get close and outwork her and bring punches over the top. But Metcalf managed to sort of fiddle her way through some of the rounds, just on sheer volume, really. Now, the judges had this 99-91, which I thought was too wide. 97-93, yeah, I'm going to live with that. 96-94, yeah, all right. But to me, there was only one winner. I thought I had it 97-93, so that agreed with one of the judges. But was I disappointed in Yoshida? Again, I think it's the style that just gives her problems. I mean, against Ebony Bridges, she was, swapping leather all night long, and Ebony likes a scrap, the blonde bomber and all that. And I felt that Yoshida kind of even though Ebony was sort of out of sorts, I think she had Dave Caldwell in her corner for the first time, and that didn't really gel. I think Caldwell was trying to get her to box a bit more, whereas she should be. Ebony has come forward, bang, slugger. Remember that terrific fight she had with Shannon Courtney. But MIYO, there's nothing fancy about what she does. And against Ebony Bridges, she was coming forward and she was swapping punches. With Metcalf, Shurretta Metcalf, she just couldn't really do that. Shurretta was controlling the range better. And again, I'm getting back to the old, at least she was letting her hands go. A lot of it was scrappy. She does have quite a sort of like a scruffy style, Shurretta Metcalf. She looks kind of gangly and a little bit uncultured, a little bit, and not quite got the school in there. But don't forget, she turned pro when she was 31. So to win a belt, win a title at 39, good luck to the lady. Well done to her. For MIYO Yoshida, she's no spring chicken herself. She's been a 2-weight world champ. She's 36 now. She might want to call it a day. I know her nickname is, I don't know the Japanese, but it translates as single mother, because she is a single mum. And after she'd beaten Ebony Bridges, I think her child got in the ring. I can't remember whether it was a daughter or a son. But, there was a very emotional scene. And will she continue at 36? Almost all of her fights, actually, I say that, the last 4 have been in the US. But prior to that, she was, making defences of her WBO Superfly title in Japan, and seemed to be making a decent living against some, pretty decent fighters with winning records and so on. I don't know whether she'll carry on at 36, probably not. But Shurretta Metcalf will, now that she's got the belt. Who would she fight? Bantamweight. Ebony Bridges is out of the scene because she's pregnant. She's going to have a baby, so she won't be fighting anytime soon. But I think Metcalf is awkward, very, very awkward to fight, but I see her as being beatable, especially if she stands upright. If you can get someone who'll time her, bring the punches over. Yeah, I think she's very beatable. She's beatable. But at the same time, awkward, and if you don't do what you're supposed to do, she'll pinch those rounds with the output. So I don't know if you saw this fight, but it's all right. It's worth a look. Go and have a look at it. It's on YouTube, part of the ProBox TV Wednesday. Happened on Wednesday. So that was 23rd of October. Go and have a look at it. It's all right. Yeah. Anyway, if you got any comments, if you did see the fight, leave them below. And if you're new to the channel, you could subscribe. That would be great. That would help us out. And also hit the like button, because it's free and you can help the channel out and you can spread your love and all that stuff. All right. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye for now.